run the rest of the straw out of the chopper. Being we're up here at the farm, we could do it. We had water just in case it caught fire again, but nothing will work. A bunch of codes come up, so we're thinking all them wires right there are probably scorched and done. Not sure about the pump, but we're gonna wash her off, clean her up. They do got a couple 780s down Pocomoke that we just talked to the salesman this morning. They said we could probably rent or use one of them to finish up. We got a little bit less than 100 acres, maybe like 95 acres left of wheat to do. So if nothing else, we'll at least have a combine to hook up to our draper and finish up. So yeah, she'll be out of commission for a little while, and who knows how much it's gonna, cost, but we have insurance, so we will get up with them and see what's going on. So that's the update. Didn't show the fire because I was trying to get it out. It is what it is. When you're cutting wheat and it's 90-some degrees and humidity, I mean, man, I'm surprised we don't have more fires or people have fires with these combines, because they take abuse, and just think about all the stuff that flows through them every second that they're running. I mean, it's crazy. So we'll see. Gonna start moving the straw out of the field. My brother had a problem with the baler. He went ahead and fixed it. Got the draper unhooked. They're bringing us a new combine Monday. Got old nice sweet my love over there. It's my favorite tractor. Gonna plant this field. We just got to get it done. I could probably catch up to once my brother gets, he's only got like 6 wipes to do baling. They went to go get his pickup, but I'm gonna jump in here and Dad's gonna come load me. We're gonna move the bales out of the field, and once we get these moved, I'll probably just plant these straightaways. I got a little bit of wheat left over there from where the combine messed up, but I can at least get 3/4 of the field planted, because it looks like we might get a rain this afternoon, or I'm hoping that we do. So I'll be that, then I would definitely be called up to the combine. But see the storm? It looks like it's coming. See what my brother misses? Look at that. I can't plant through that mess, Alex. I tell you, we used to drive these 4440s full time before we started getting 9200s and 8-wheelers to do everything, and then we switched to all the 8335Rs we got. And I tell you what, I don't know how we did it, because you get in one of them now and it's miserable. Trust me, there's nothing better than a comfortable tractor to sit in. I mean, when you're in it all day, I know you're only in it so many months out of the year, but you're in it a lot when you're in it. And these 4440s were good in their day, I'm sure. You know what, we used to have 4230s with no cabs, and that's the stuff that I started on, with the 4230. And wintertime, chisel plow and everything, it'd be cold. Of course, they had the little heater thing we put around them, but I was young then. And then we got our first cab 4440, and you thought you were in heaven. Then we got a second 4440. We traded that in on something a long time ago, years ago. I don't even know what we did that on. But this one right here has managed to stay around, and I can't wait till the day that we trade this in on a similar size tractor, but just a newer model. With the front, I would never buy nothing that's not full-wheel drive anymore. Never, ever, ever. Even if you don't use it, but when you need it, it's air. These little tires push a little bit when my brother's spreading fertilizer, and the ground might be just a tad bit sticky. They're just horrible. They no traction. But yeah, he runs this one a lot, spreading fertilizer and cover crop, but I'd like to see us one day update this thing. put GPS. I would like to get something that's GPS compatible. So when we are spreading or doing something, it's, you know, it's there. You can do a lot better job. But for just running around the field doing this, yeah, is it okay? Sure it is. It's paid for, but it's still uncomfortable. You still hate doing this job. We can move a lot of bales with this 48-foot spread axle behind it. We got a dolly, but it's not fun. Not fun. And it actually, when you get this trailer loaded, you better give this thing all she's got when you don't have full drive. It's a jag on her. So, but here, I'll show you. This is all the wheat I had left on this farm. Just a little swipe over there. There's about 3 swipes. And on the other side of the corn, we got 92 acres to do. So I would have been done yesterday here, moved back there, but things happen. Back to planting. I'm gonna go ahead and get caught up to the combine. That way Monday, when we get the combine, hopefully we get it Monday, we will be rolling with it. I thought it was gonna rain. It didn't rain. It kind of went around us. So my brother's out here cleaning up a couple strips. They just got done baling and moving the straw dead over there on the loader. My brother always likes it when I get him on camera. Morning. We're out here in one of our early bean fields that was sprayed the other day. I noticed we had some ragweed and some palmer coming up. So I will show you. They are Enlist beans, but I didn't use an Enlist chemical. I used Liberty. You can use Liberty on Enlist beans because I got Extend Flex up front and I didn't want to put Enlist in here. So Liberty smokes everything good. So I'll show you what it did. You can see all the weeds are starting to die. Seemed like it was just on the end rows, really. But I went ahead and sprayed the whole field anyway. You can see they're dying. It smoked them good. I like that Liberty. And the beans are, let's see, probably thigh high already. Starting to get a lot of flowers on them. You can see all the way down. So these are Agrigold. They're 4 6s back here. Got the 4 2s up front, but these are 4 4s up front. These are 4 6s, and some of them are taller. You get out there, it's starting to drizzle, so I'm not getting my pants all wet. But they're probably waist high further you get away from the end row. But they look good. 120 acres of them, so let's see what they do this first year planting them. But in the test plots that we saw, they looked daggone good. Really, really good. I'll show you what this damn groundhog does. Look at this spot right here. See that grass spot? That's what a groundhog does. See how they eat the beans right down? There's a couple of them on this farm, a couple different spots. Oh, look, there's a chunk of wood there. It must be from cleaning the ditch out. I better get that. Oh, don't want that going in the combine header. Oh, look at that. This is the farm that we came and ripped all the trees out of the ditches and cleaned it all out. Hadn't been done in years. Got the water flowing a lot better. All the way around. Pushed all the woods back. But the weeds are smoked. This rain will help out. I put manganese on these beans too, so that should help them. But they look good. Got some volunteer corn that came up. that Liberty, if it's not Liberty Link corn, it will smoke it. You see some of the corn. Like that one right there is dying. That one's not, but all the other ones are. But big farm of beans, so let's hope they do 100 bushels to the acre. But you can see the weeds. See over here, we're just on these end rows right here where we put some new ditches in, and where we disted the dirt out, leveled it. It seems like that's where the weed problem was. It wasn't everywhere else where it was just straight no-till. But they look good, really good. Calling for thunderstorm this morning. It's starting to drizzle, so let's hope that we get some rain because the corn's starting to pollinate. Need some rain right now. It looks good, but let's just keep getting these decent little rain showers. Just keep everything going. And this farm right here is a little bit more sandy of a farm, so these beans need a drink of water. Of course, this side of the area got more rain than our main farms do. I don't know why. We can sit home and watch it rain over this way, which that's a good thing. But they still need some water because, like I said, it's sandy. So we need to keep some water on it. Keep some water on them. This is a farm. I want to put 120 acres of vetch here because we're going to do corn here next year. And that vetch, I'll have to show you my farm and the other farm. I mean, that corn is banging in that vetch. It's just crazy, the growth. Even this Eastern Shore farmer, which knows nothing about farming, apparently, even though she's with me and she rides with me and I teach her every day, seems like she still doesn't comprehend it. But even her, she's like, oh my God, that corn is just growing. I mean, it's just outpacing all the other corn. It's just crazy how it's growing. So I'll show you that. I'll show you it from the balcony because that's where you see the real gist of it, just how it's growing. And I did plant that a little bit later than I did some of the earlier nice looking corn. That I want everything planted early. It just, later corn looks good. It just seems like it just, I don't know, maybe I'm looking at early corn, it's just really good. And you know, a couple week corn that's after that, it looks good. It's just taking so long to get to the stage where the early corn is, I guess. But I'm telling you, earlier corn the better, in my opinion. I'll show you the vetch corn now. That stuff is beautiful. Vetch is the ticket. It's an expensive cover crop, but boy, it pays off. It looks like it pays off. You know, you never know till you get in the combine and get rolling through there, but it looks like it pays off, but it's beautiful. All right, so we are bringing home an S780. It's got the Gen 4 monitor in it. We are demoing it to finish our weed out. Not much different really than ours, but she feels a lot bigger than ours does. Got the new joystick. And you would think I am on a back road and there is a million people that have decided to come down this road the day I decided to bring this combine back. And if a car is at a road right there, instead of letting me go by, they pull out right in front. I mean, people are freaking horribly inconsiderate of a combine. Now, there's a school bus up there. You think he's going to sit or you think he's going to come out? Guarantee he's going to come out. And there's not a lot of room on this road by the time you put a combine down it. So, yep, he's coming out. Yep, here he comes. So, all right, let me get off here and figure this out. All right, I have to show you this corn in vetch because it's blowing my mind. Here's the house. Here's 1087 Seed Consultant corn. Now, this was a great corn last year in drought. I mean, it didn't rain 58 days and this stuff produced. And we haven't been getting a lot of rain, but we have been getting rain. You know, showers here and there, a couple inches every so often, and it's keeping it going. And this stuff, I mean, this stuff right here, I mean, this ain't even, I don't even know how to show you that. I mean, it's got to be 12 foot tall. Here, this has got to be like, I mean, I can't even hold the phone up as tall as it is. It's just ridiculous. It's got to be 12 foot. This is my arm stretched all the way up, and the phone is straight. So I'm walking into it, and it's still a good 3-4 foot up there. I know it doesn't do it justice, but I mean, it's just ridiculous. And it is putting ears on, starting to. Now, I don't know if tall corn means it's healthy corn or if it's good corn. Big. I love the leaves on this stuff is big. It's just big and thick. I mean, look at this right here. It's just, look how long and, I mean, look how thick that is. I mean, wide. I mean, it's just good for sunlight. Look how healthy it looks. I mean, just healthy. I mean, that's just ridiculously healthy. So, and it's putting ears on. So, and this right here was actually a replant field. And I got this in late, and look how it's already boomed up. Now the front here is replant, front 2 fields, and then there's a little side field there. And that's looked the best. We put a ditch through it, but we still had problems with water laying. Even in this field, there's a spot that we had problems with water laying, and I think we fixed it all. But this is just, I mean, it's just crazy. When you go up on the balcony and you look over where the water lays, the corn's probably 8-10 feet tall there, and even in the other field. And they were the main problems where yield was at. These front fields are hard clay fields. When you get to my manure shed, back is where, and then this left side over here, beside the chicken house, that's a totally different field. There's a ditch that separates it. We didn't have to replant any of that. I really didn't have to replant any of this because I never turbo tilled the old corn up. So when I replanted in, I just went down the same rows, and actually the corn, it was, you know, maybe this tall when I did it, and it's all kind of like grown together now. So actually I have a high population in all these fields, and for this corn to be that tall and look this way with the high population in these front couple fields is just ridiculously, I mean, it's impressive. It is in vetch. I always knew vetch did good because I've seen some Virginia guys that they do vetch like crazy, and their corn stand was beautiful. I mean, every year looking at it, it's like, come on, you know, I want to do this. So we ended up doing it on 2 farms. Even the other farm looks good. Now that's on sandier ground, but the corn still looks beautiful there. It was planted later than it was even planted later than my replant, but man, this is just, I mean, it's just all around the whole farm. It's just impressive. I mean, the vetch, you know, until you get in here with a combine and the ears really get developed to see what you actually got, but just as healthy as this corn looks right now, you know, I mean, all of our corn, this is probably the best year that I've seen that it all looks good. I mean, it all looks good like this. You know, different varieties don't quite have the height, but some early corn I planted down the road here was the first couple fields I planted, and that stuff's every bit that tall, if not taller, but it's got big ears already developing. Half of that is a 1506 Pioneer, was in half the planter, 115 day, and then the other half of that was Augusta. It was 115 day. The guy wanted me to try it, so I did it on 15 acres. Split the planter, You can tell the difference in the two varieties. The Augusta does look like it's a little bit taller. The Pioneer corn does have a white, it comes out with a white cob. But man, that's beautiful. I mean, it's, you know, and then I got this 1087 when I planted them couple. I had enough for 15 acres, got that knocked out. I switched straight over to, actually I had 3 bags of 107 day and 3 bags of 110 day Sea Consultant I wanted to try. Did them on the end rows and then put 108 day in it. And I planted all that the same day as I did the 15 acres. And I've been showing you them fields, but I'll show you tomorrow too, because the ears are just, you know, they're really getting developed. And it's pretty, you know, tall like this. Now we did that just on straight no-till. Didn't have a cover crop in it. It did have the beans in it that we didn't harvest from last year. So, but man, I tell you, that corn looks good too. But this corn, you know, especially when you're at your house, your home, this is like consider this in the home farm. That's where my dad lives, but this is like my home farm. So, you know, I'm here at the house and I'm always looking at it, you know. And I try to plant this same as I try to plant everything. I try to plant every farm perfect, you know, because you just have one shot at it. And not that we had to replant, but I just didn't get these front fields are hard clay, and we didn't get rain for a while. We were getting rain when I was starting to plant, and then we moved over to the vetch, and it had kind of dried out the ground a little bit, but the vetch had kept the ground a little damp, but the vetch was, I mean, it was almost waist high. It was so thick, and I had the planter as deep as I could go, and I probably could have ran a gear back and slowed her down. I probably could have put my downforce up a lot more too. I didn't put the downforce up. I just left it kind of like what I had planted before. It was a new planter, so I wasn't sure. But I know in this kind of ground, next time, let it rain, let the ground get a little bit soaked underneath there, you know, wait a couple days after it, but so the ground's still moist, and then bump my down pressure up and plant into the vetch, because I definitely, depending on what the yield is, I mean, looking at the corn, yeah, it looks great. Depending on we don't get hurricanes or something that totally just wipe it out. If we can actually take this to harvest, see what it does, I really think the vetch is the key. Now, vetch is a little expensive to put in as a cover crop, but for the return that you get with the nitrogen and the coating of the ground, keeps the moisture and everything in there, and from what it looks like, it really looks like, you know, it's going to do good. You never know till the end day, but you know, I hope I live long enough to see this, see what it does. You know, you never know what happens every day, but I can't wait to bring a combine in here and start rolling through it. I mean, it's just impressive. You know, to me, it's impressive. Other farmers, they farm the way they want, and I mean, everybody's corn around here looks good, you know, not just ours. Every farmer. We've had, you know, it seems like pretty good, perfect everything this year. And, you know, I just wish I could, you know, I'm like, man, I wish I could have planted this as early as I did the other stuff to see what state it would be at now. But, man, it really looks good. I mean, it's exciting when you think you did it right from start to finish. And I know we haven't finished yet, but just looking at it, you know, you get excited over this, or I do. I'm looking at it, and even her, you know, she's not a farmer, but she's really noticing this. You know, it looks good. You know, like I said, you don't know till you get in there and what the combine's doing, but man, it looks. I mean, I mean that just is. I mean, it's just a wall. Look at that, all the way out to the road. That is. I mean, that is just a wall. And I mean, even back there is where the back of the farm starts. It's pretty big, and it's long, goes long ways. I mean, even that is just, I know it's getting low light, you can't really see, but this field over here is the field that actually hurts us a lot. And look at that. We've never had, since we've owned this farm, we've never had a stand like that on that field. I mean, that is, I mean, it's taller than a chicken house. If you look at it. It's already up past it. And we still got 2 months of growing. So, yeah, I mean, that's, whew, I don't know. I'm excited. We'll see. We'll see. Morning. So, I do have a nice surprise here, and I will show you. We have an S780 that we are demoing. There's ours. She is a 2018 model. She has 1,200 hours on her. And we are going to finish up wheat with her. She does have the long folding auger. She's got the tail end where the straw can come out. She does have a lot of different things on her, same as ours, just a newer model, updated model, different series, but it does have some things in different locations. Kind of excited to get to run her. I'm gonna grease it. Hadn't been greased. I got a setter for wheat, which I've kind of went around it last night and set it, but she does have the Gen 4 monitor in her, and to me, the Gen 4 monitor is a little bit more difficult than the 2630 or 2600. It's a lot more techy, I guess. It's kind of like your cell phone. You got those kind of icons and touch and all that stuff. It's nice. I think if you got used to it, it'd be nice, but it's certainly not as easy to me as the 2600 or 2630. But it's the first time I'm using it, so just got to play with it. It's a little bit harder, I think, to set the header and stuff like that versus the other two. But once I get the header hooked up, then I can kind of set it and figure all that out. But yeah, I got to put our globe on the top. She does have auto steer, but she don't have a globe, so I'm going to put our globe on the top of her. And what else? Got to calibrate that. But we'll see if she's a nice combine. She feels bigger than ours. Even though she doesn't look bigger, she feels bigger. But yeah, we're gonna test her out probably today or tomorrow and knock out 100 acres of wheat with her. Thanks again to Atlantic Tractor. I know I give you all a hard time, but Gary, our salesman, and Owen from Pokemoke store came through for us. We really appreciate it, and we're gonna demo her and see how she is. Well, being I'm washing our combine so they can work on it, I'll show you this corn. 108 day, 1087. This was the second field I planted. That stuff is pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. All the way through. That's as tall as that hydroponic right there. Look at that. Right up to the top of it. That is crazy. That is pretty corn though. Hey. Heck, I might as well show you the decob. That is pretty stuff too. That's 112 days. They said that's a real good number. Look at that, how even it is all the way across. Man, that stuff is banging. All the way up to the front. Where's it at? There you go. All the way. And it goes all the way over. I got beans already coming up. As you can see, we got some rain flooded that little spot. Alright, so we are trying out the S780 today. And it has got a lot more power than our 680. I can tell you that. Runs a lot cooler. It does have some issues with her. With this one right here anyway. The wheat's horrible right here around the edge of the woods. You can see 34, 40. You can look how thin it is. The deer have done trampled it and ate it and everything else. Once you get in after the first row, it's pretty good. But that's the good and the bad. This is a farm, big farm way back here, and there's tons of deer back here. But like I say, I cut 2 rows up there. Once I jumped in the second row, it was back up to 100 bushels, so doing pretty good other than the end row here. First end row is horrible. But we can't windrow this because the windrower won't work on this combine. We saw a wire off, so we fixed it, but it still won't do it. It said there was a ground issue or something. So being this was the last week that we had, decided to go ahead and get this thing done and blow it out the back and be done with wheat. So be done with this mess. Because if they had to order a part for this, who knows how long it would take to get here. And with our other combine down, yeah, so that would be nice to have this combine though. This thing is really, she's got the Gen 4 in her. It took me a little while to figure it out. Once I figured it out, it wasn't so bad, but it's still not as easy as a 2630 or 2600. In my opinion, it's not. It's a nice short, it's nice, but it's not as easy. It took me forever to figure out how to get the auto reel and header. And it's more technical, yes. More complicated, yes, to get to where you want to get to, in my opinion. I know that they're coming out with the Gen 5s. Maybe they're a little bit user friendly, but this one right here, the Gen 4 is okay. I mean, if I had them in their tractors, maybe I would be used to them, but you got to go through a lot more stuff on this to get where you want to go, instead of just going where you want to go like you can on the 2630s and the 2600s. You can get to where you want really quick on them. These, you can't. I do like the combine though. I mean, the cab's nice. She's got, like I said, she's got more power than ours does, because this is our header, and I can just tell cutting 100 bushel wheat how this one goes compared to how ours goes. She's got the longer auger on her. I do like that. I like the longer auger. She's got the new joystick. I got to get used to that. I've just got it set like I do my other combine with just the rows and that. But there's a lot more you can actually do with that, in my understanding. I would have to read the book and learn it a little bit more, but it's supposed to be a lot. That's supposed to be more user friendly. I just haven't never used it to know how to do it, and I want to get the wheat cut. So, but I did get the header set up, 35 foot. I got everything set up for my auto. It did have a globe, so I got the globe off our combine and put on here. But yeah, it's a nice freaking combine. So, like I said, it just has a couple issues, and that's not Atlantic Tractor's fault. They, they took it in on a trade. I'm sure the guy got a new combine and just traded it in the way it was, and they probably hadn't done anything to it. I don't think they go through it until somebody buys it. I wish that they would actually go through them and fix them right there on the yard, so when you sell them or when somebody demos one, there's no issues. But them guys are busy, so it is what it is. But I appreciate Atlantic Tractor letting us demo this. I would really love to trade ours in on it. It's only got 800 hours on it, so it's still pretty much a brand new combine. To us it would be. I mean, this will last us quite a long time. But it's nice. But then again, it's money, so everything costs money. And I think combines are higher now than they've ever been, is the bad thing. Not saying it's not worth it. I have looked in some books and seen where the prices on some of them are ridiculous for used combines, but it's nice. I mean, it's I like it. Of course, you would like it when something new you drive it. But at least we're getting done. Thank you, Gary and Owen and the Land Tractor, for helping us out, and we won't forget it. Thank you. All right, I moved to the same field that Pop's in, so I'm gonna plant next to him and then plant over to where he's cut and then come back and do it. But he's got the 780 rolling, boy. He don't like it when I video. I'm gonna video right up here to him. It is a nice combine, I'll give it to her. I mean, it's, you know, you look at what we got, it's kind of the same thing, but just everything they didn't do right on them, they updated on these, and it just makes it nicer, I guess. And a combine's like a sprayer, it's important, like a planter. He ain't got no radio in there, so he can't yell at me for videoing him. He's working the auto steer. I showed him how to do it. He's rolling with her. That's nice when you cut the full width of that header too. Real nice. I like the auger, the long auger, and everything on her. I don't really like how it folds. Ours folds too. We never use it, but windows are dirty. Oh man! Wiper at. Get that window clean, boy. The 2630 is definitely, the 2600 and 2630 are definitely easier to use. Like I said, it was my first time using that Gen 4, so with a combine, there's a whole bunch to do with it too, I think. Once I kind of figured it out, sitting there playing with it and everything. Once I kind of figured it out and learned the header stuff, how to set the header, because you know you got to set the header. You either want the contour master or you don't. You either want the front and back on your throat. I was cutting the stuff that was down, like I was cutting beans. I had all the flex on the header, but where this weed is good, this is real pretty weed standing. I tightened the flex up, but then when I went to lower it, it kept wanting to drop the flex. So I still had it on, set for beans. Now, that combine was on, so I had to go in there, and it took me a little bit to find where you turn all that stuff off at, so you can just set her at your height, and you know, with your flex off and everything. Like I said, once you kind of get playing with it, yeah, it's simple, but it's just a lot to it. And whoever had that combine, they got a lot of pages on there that you don't, I feel like you don't need. You know, like I got 3 pages that I can look through, but they had like 6 or 7 of them on there. And you know, when you went through one, next thing you know, you had so many you had to go through. I don't know. Like I said, the more I messed with it, the easier it got. I'd like to get a Gen 5 in here because they don't make the Gen 4s. I'd like to have a Gen 4, but the problem with the Gen 4 is you have to pay for swath control every year, and I don't want to do that. On the Gen 5s, they made it all one thing where you know, it's all one package. You don't have to pay for this. You know, it's all included. You buy it one time, that's it. But with the Gen 4s, they wanted you to pay the yearly subscription for swath control. And I need swath control for the planters. I'm not paying every year when we already own it on all of our other monitors. But like I say, it's something to get used to. It's fine in the combine because you don't need swap control. But, you know, it is nice in there. It is a nice combine. You know, the stuff that seems like they updated the stuff on that one that was wrong with the 600s. We couldn't get, she does have some codes on her. We couldn't get the tail end to drop it out the back. It kept coming up codes, electrical crap. So what we did was we just said heck with it, and this is our last farm. We just want to get weed done. So we went ahead and just started blowing it out the back. We were like, hell with it, let's get done. So get done, get these beans in the ground, and we will be done. Done, son. Damn foxhole we got here, I swear. But I would run her, and I probably could have kept running her, but I'd like for him to run it so he sees what the newer combine's like. Like I said, it's not brand new. It's an 18. Low hours. It don't have an 800 engine. Well, it's got 1200 engine and 850 separator hours. So, I mean, it's probably out of our price range. Who knows? So, but it's a heck of a lot cheaper than a new one. You know, a new one, it's probably 700,000, 750,000 for one, if not more. And that thing right there hardly has any hours on it. Our combine's a good combine, but man, it's just always running warm, and you know, it's just lacks a little bit of power. Like that thing right there, that's our header, and it's nice using our head because I know what our combine did with that head versus that combine, and she's got a lot more power on her. The temperature never went up the whole time I was running. I mean, it stayed right there perfect. But they're going to fix ours, insurances, so who knows? It'd be nice if we could get a good deal on a trade and make it work out to get that, because that thing right there would actually, with the low hours it would last us quite a number of years. But who knows? It is what it is. We'll try her anyway. We're trying her now, so even if we can't afford it, it sure as heck is nice getting to drive one. It's funny, you go to a car dealership now, and they want, you know, for these pickups, they want you driving just a mile down the road and back. You can go down to John Deere if you're a farmer and take a $500,000 combine off the lot. You know, hey, use it, just clean up for you, bring it back. If we work out a deal, we will. If not, just make sure she's clean and bring her back like you found her. Drive her home, bring her back. But they know how we are. We take care of our stuff and try to be respectful. So, but it is nice. That is a nice combine, I'll admit. It's nice. She's got the power. I kind of would like to have a 790, but I didn't think that she had any more power than ours, and you know, 780 just in my head until I drove it. And now I know why guys around here have 780s with 40-foot drapers on them, because they she's definitely got the power. It surprised me. She definitely, you know, we got a 35-foot draper, and she handled it better than our 680 did. I'll say that. But you know, I'm guy, I guess that had it. He probably buys a combine every so often. So she's got some belts that are getting a little rough on her, and she had some codes on her about for the concave every time you went and set it, and that tail end where the tail end wouldn't open up. You know, that's stuff that would be in the deal. They would fix that. They always do that anyway. Fix the stuff when you buy it. So she's sweet. Sweet. Come on, Wes. Get you a John Deere 780. all that land you got, you turn it into farmland, not hay. You're gonna need something big like her. Be sweet. Anyway, I'm gonna plant these beans, watch Pop run that deer, and yeah, just kick back and enjoy myself. Remember to like the video, subscribe, tell your friends, you know, all the good stuff that people like Larson's and Millennial tell you. So, see you later. I forgot, another big thank you to Atlantic Tractor. I know I give you all a hard time, but you came through. I appreciate it. Owen, Gary, everybody else down there that made it happen. I appreciate it. And all the park guys and mechanics. Thank everybody. Alright, that's it. That's it. Week 2023 is a wrap. Woo!
We'd like to thank Atlantic Tractor. Thanks, Gary.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. There it is. That's the last of it. Great job, Big Lou. Way to knock those acres out. You gotta take that and drop it in the backyard and then pick him up. I'm gonna get the plant, I wanna get this crap done. It's getting ready to be vacation time. Alright, so I am finishing up with Plant 2023. I am using the Adaptive Curve as my GPS on the inrows. Shame I don't have another 1,000 acres, but it is what it is. I can keep right on going. It's working, I guess. She's following it. Pretty neat. I normally don't use it, but this inrow is almost a mile. I bet you it's a mile long. So that's why I decided to use it. She will draw the line for you as you're going. Pretty neat. Always plant a little bit higher population around the edge of the woods for the deer. They're gonna eat some of it anyway, so I don't know. Plus, these are the last beans that we got, so I'm gonna empty the planter. Even if I have to do an extra in-row, I'm gonna plant them. I'm not gonna. I watched a video of Trippy Farmer, and I really can't. I put him in Cold and Corn Star in the same category, but. Anyway, I watched a video of him when he got done planting. He had quite a few beans on his planter, and he just parked out in the field and opened up his bottom doors on his planter and just let them dump on the ground. I'm like, why wouldn't you just plant an extra pass and let them come up and harvest them and make money instead of just dumping them on the ground? I'd never seen anybody do that before. That really blew my mind. I'm not dumping them on the ground. I'm planting them. Even if I plant them a little bit thicker, I'm going to get some bean out of them instead of just throwing them on the ground and in a big pile and they all come up and rot, or, you know, they just don't do nothing. I can't do that. That drives me crazy. So, I don't know. Everybody's different, I guess. I like how she draws that line now. They say that it's not accurate. If you get a sharp bend, it doesn't work. But I found just on slight corners like this one, these one I'm coming up on, it works. It holds it pretty good. So yeah, I think it for really long inroads, it does a really good job. And it'll paint that line for you. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. For short inroads, I don't use it, or just a normal size field, but this is a 90 some acre field. And it has very long, massive inroads the way it's shaped. Well, we'll get everything planted out, get everything empty. Get everything cleaned up. And then I gotta get ready to spray. I'm gonna let these beans come up a little bit. And hit them with some Enlist, Roundup. Get all that done, and then, well, Miss Eastern Shore Farmer, like I said, it's her birthday tomorrow on the 13th. So I think I get these stuff done, clean the other combine up, and go on vacation for a couple days. I don't know where. She either wants to go to Lancaster or Deep Creek Lake. We will see. It's up there. Plant 2023 is in the books. Thanks everybody for watching. And I get to this end of this inrow. We are done. See you later. Eastern Shore Farmer out. Just got the planter home. I'm gonna go jump in the swimming pool. It is 95 degrees. Hot. Sweating. Swimming pool it is. Miss Eastern Shore Farmer, she's already in it. So I'm gonna go get in it too. I'm gonna show you a real pretty cornfield. Already getting really nice ears on it. That is a beautiful cornfield. Now that field right there, make sure no cars are coming. That field and these two fields right here, they were the very first field that I planted with the new planter. I got two different varieties here. This is where I got the Pioneer on one side. Hold on. And Augusta on the other side. They are getting pretty big ears too. I got cards behind me, so I really can't show you everything. But the Augusta is the deep roots in. Here's the Augusta. See how much taller it is? But it's pretty corn though. But it ain't pretty like this. It ain't pretty like this 1087 sea consultant I'm getting ready to come up to. Getting ready to come up to my farm. This is in vetch. Now this is some pretty corn. Pretty corn, pretty corn. That stuff is putting on ears. And it is beautiful. I know you can't see I'm driving. But it's pretty. Trust me, it's pretty. It is pretty. Look at that. Oh my God. Look at that. It's halfway up the flagpole. God bless America.